guys, welcome. I'm so sorry my video gone. I'm gonna make this again.
As Amazon looks to purchase MGM, the Federal Trade Commission may be looking to scuttle the deal. A new Stargate series could be on the line. The deal for the consumer giant to acquire Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer and all of its assets is approaching a major crossroads this month, with the $8.45 billion deal still uncertain. And as the final decision from regulators looms, pressure to reject the deal is mounting from opponents. The future of MGM-owned properties like Stargate might hang in the balance. Since Amazon and MGM announced the agreement last May, the companies have been waiting for regulatory approval from the U.S. government, as well as from regulators in the European Union. And while Federal Trade Commission executives have a history of voicing opposition to the consolidation of media companies, actual legal challenges are more rare, and a victory against mergers rarer still. Citing sources close to the deal, This Week news site The Information reports that FTC heads are taking steps to prepare for a legal challenge to Amazon's acquisition of MGM Studios, including looking at hiring expert witnesses. But the final decision on whether to bring legal action against the deal is currently split 2-2. The report says that the FTC will decide whether or not to bring the case in the next few weeks. The FTC's fifth and deciding vote belongs to its next commissioner. President Biden nominated Alvaro Bedoya last fall, but his Senate confirmation has been in limbo. Deadline states that a committee vote on the nomination is scheduled for this week, but he may not be seated in time to weigh in on the Amazon MGM deal.
Yeah, and our price, the MG and Amazon are waiting for it. That is like hard of them and posting and telling you about the Stargate and all that stuff.
Meanwhile, the EU's antitrust regulators have said that they will make their own preliminary decision on whether to approve Amazon's acquisition of MGM by March 15th. Objections? Giant corporations buying out smaller companies to consolidate power within an industry always face a measure of public outcry. In this case, Deadline reports that 34 public interest groups have registered their objections to Amazon's acquisition of MGM. This includes a coalition of various labor unions, and perhaps most notably, the Writers Guild of America West. Critics argue that, while Amazon is not lacking competitors in the streaming video on-demand space, the company has already displayed anti-competitive practices that are harmful to consumers. That includes building its SVOD market share by bundling the Prime Video subscription with Amazon Prime, the delivery service oriented around physical goods, which streaming competitors like Netflix obviously do not have.
Sorry about that. My dad called me. Let me do this and this one.
These interest groups have an ally in the FTC's new chair, Lina Khan. Khan has been a vocal opponent of major media mergers in the past, and has worked at an antitrust advocacy group, and for the House Judiciary Antitrust Subcommittee. She also wrote a piece for the Yale Law Journal in 2017 criticizing the strength of current antitrust law, and calling out Amazon in particular. For these reasons, in June, Amazon filed a petition for Khan to formally recuse herself from involvement in any of the FTC's antitrust matters related to the company. Amazon stated in its filing, given her long track record of detailed pronouncements about Amazon, and her repeated proclamations that Amazon has violated the antitrust laws, a reasonable observer would conclude that she no longer can consider the company's antitrust defenses with an open mind. Indeed, doing so would require her to repudiate the years of writings and statements that are at the foundation of her professional career. Certainly, Khan's career as an antitrust watchdog is what prompted her appointment by the Biden administration to be a commissioner of the Federal Trade Commission, which receives testimony from interested parties and exercises some regulatory authority over business done within the United States. Whether Khan or the agency has any real power to thwart Amazon's purchase of MGM, though, is another matter. Looking for Stargate? Stargate's television co-creator Brad Wright, has been working with MGM since, at least early 2019, on a new Stargate project, set within the existing universe that he helped to create. Stargate SG-1 and its spin-off Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe ran for a combined 17 seasons over 14 years, and were a cornerstone of the film and television industry in British Columbia.
The Stargate fans is really fucking pissed. They are pissed because they canceled 2 seasons episodes on Destiny. They don't know what happened yet, but he fixed the pod or he found a pod to people in it.
The economic crisis of 2008 and 2009, combined with MGM's own bankruptcy in 2010, and U.S. broadcaster Sci-Fi Channel's change in creative direction, brought a swift and surprising end to a science fiction franchise that looked like it would go on for years to come. Plans for a third SG-1 movie were shelved, along with a finished script to the Atlantis movie Stargate: Extinction. In 2011, Stargate Universe went off the air, having been cancelled by the network after only 2 years of its planned 5-year story. Stargate Origins, 2018. With MGM under new management, the Stargate franchise has largely sat idle over the decades since. In 2014, news broke that the studio's film division had given Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin, the original creators of Stargate's 1994 feature film, a green light to develop the first of a potential new trilogy of theatrical films. Screenwriters were hired and development began in earnest. But by 2016, it was clear that the new movie was going nowhere. Devlin stated that he was no longer involved with the project, and in fact finished working under the constraints of the Hollywood studio system altogether. Honestly, I'm so much happier working independently, he told Variety in 2019. That's how we did the first movie. I am not really anxious to go work in a studio again. So, I think that may have also been a factor in why it fell apart. He later said that he also was not enthusiastic about the creative direction the new Stargate movie was taking. In 2018, MGM dipped a toe into new media, with a 10-part web series called Stargate Origins. This was modestly budgeted and appeared only on the studio's subscription site, Stargate Command, though later a film-length cut was sold on digital storefronts. Origins was not well received by longtime fans, and the site was shuttered the next year. Brad Wright told fans at Gatican The Invasion in September of 2018 that he and MGM were finally talking again. By the following January, he let it be known that he was working on a new Stargate project. It was at this point that Brad Wright re-entered the picture, opening conversations with MGM about a new Stargate project. Wright completed a pilot script for a 4th live-action, in-canon series that would continue the existing universe, complete with a new team, and return appearances from favorite actors and their characters. He eventually revealed that the new show would have the Stargate now as public knowledge.
Yep. That was Stargate's deal.
Found in Giza, Egypt in 1928, we now know it was originally built millennia ago by an alien race who we call the Ancients. Over the next few hours, we'll be touching on some of the things you need to know about the Stargate and how it works. There are 39 symbols representing star constellations, as seen from Earth, capable of transporting people, objects, hundreds of thousands of light years via an interstellar
speculated
wormhole.
wildly about where new
Within the
Stargate
Milky
show
Way
might end
galaxy,
up.
a seventh
Just as
symbol
the pitch
addresses
was ready to take out
the
to
first 6
networks and
symbols
potential
lock down a
streaming
point in
partners in the
space,
spring
while the
of
seventh
2020,
represents the
the
point of
COVID-19
origin.
pandemic shut down
When a
all
connection is
film
made
and
between two
television production
stargates, an
globally.
unstable
Wright and his
energy
4th series
vortex
were put on
emerges from the
standby.
gate,
Then, in May of
settles in the event horizon
2021,
or
MGM
tunnel,
announced it was
as we
selling
like
to
to call it.
Amazon. The retail giant
Later,
is looking
it
to
was
boost its
discovered
Prime
that using
Video
an
streaming
8th symbol
library,
would actually
but
dial
also to
another
utilize
galaxy.
MGM's wealth of film
It is
and
believed
television
an
IP for new
unprecedented amount of
production.
power is
New
required to
Stargate
reach the
is
near
primed
mythical
and
9
ready for a
chevron
green light.
destination.
But fans must
Icarus
wait a
Space
little
was
longer
established on
until
a
the
planet
sale is
discovered 2
actually
years ago
finalized.
to have a
What's
uniquely
next?
powerful core
With the
made of the
FTC's
mineral
decision imminent,
quadria.
there are 3
The entire
scenarios for
purpose of
how
the
all of
project
this
is to
works
hopefully
out,
one
with
day
varying
dial
degrees
the
of
9 chevron
likelihood.
address
One
found in
possibility
the
is that
ancient
the commissioners
database.
make known their opposition to Amazon's
Hi,
purchase of
I'm Dr. Daniel
MGM, but
Jackson.
take no action
Now,
to
you've
stand
heard
in
the
the way of
term
the deal.
hyperspace
This
for
would lead
years
to a
in
quick
sci-fi
closure,
movies and television
and with
shows,
any
but
luck, A
What does
quick
it really
announcement
mean?
that Amazon will deliver what
Well,
fans
basically,
have
we
been
live our
asking
lives in
for.
3
A
dimensions
second
plus
scenario
time.
would see the FTC file a lawsuit against
That's
Amazon
another
to
DVD.
send the merger to court.
Hyperspace,
Here, of course,
also
the
called
agency does not get the
subspace, is
final
another
say,
dimension
but would
with
have
certain
to
laws of
present its
physics
case
like
to
the speed
convince
of
a
light
judge
or the
that
effects of
Amazon's
relativity don't
ownership
apply.
of MGM would
Now, by
violate
entering
US antitrust law. This would extend
hyperspace,
the
a
timetable
ship can
greatly.
travel vast
And if the
distances
judge were
at
to be
speeds
convinced that
many
the deal
times
is
the speed
off,
of light and
MGM
return
would
to normal
remain
space once it
independent,
reaches its
and its
destination.
investors' ability to sell
The
the
actual
company
math of
for
how it
such
all
a
works
high
is still
price
highly
would be greatly
classified, and I'm
diminished.
not completely
Third
sure I
and
understand
finally,
it
of
myself.
course, the
But
FTC could
it's
take
how most
Amazon to
advanced
court
races
and
get
lose.
around the
This
galaxy when they're
outcome
not
would
using a
still require
Stargate.
more time and more waiting for Stargate fans. But it reflects the reality that the Trade Commission's
Hi, I'm
bark is
Daniel
worse
Jackson.
than its bite. A
The
judge could
ancients
decide
were
in
once a
favor of
race of
Amazon
humans known
or
as
simply dismiss the
Alterans.
suit. When
They
new
left their
regulators
galaxy to avoid
announce
a
their
war
own
with another
decision
race of
this
humans
month, it
called
will
the
be
Ori.
preliminary. They will
They
either
flew to the
okay
Milky
the
Way
deal
millions
or
of years
announce the
ago and
commencement
first
of a
landed on
larger
the planet
investigation
Nakara.
into the matter. Legal experts
From
suggest
there,
that
they
current
made their way
U.S.
to
antitrust
Earth, which
laws
they
do
would
not
call
give
home for
Con
some
and the
time.
FTC much room to argue
The
against the
ancients are the
MGM
inventors
acquisition.
of the
That's
Stargates,
because,
and much
while
of the
Amazon
advanced
may have a
technology
corner
that
on the
was later
retail goods
usurped
market
and
as
used
well
by the
as a foot in
Goa'uld to
several other
enforce their
commercial
rule.
sectors, its Prime Video
Prior to that,
entertainment
the
service
ancients
is
left
nowhere
for
near
Pegasus,
monopolistic.
and then
Amazon
ultimately some of them
faces stiff
returned to the Milky
competition for
Way,
consumer
where it is
dollars from
believed
the
they
likes of
used their knowledge
Netflix,
to restart
Hulu,
human life
Disney
as we
Plus,
know it on Earth.
HBO Max, and others.
At some point,
US
they evolved both
antitrust law,
physically
as
and
it is
mentally to the
currently
point
written,
where they no
requires
longer
evidence that a
required
merger
their
will
human
result in
bodies.
harm to consumers, such
Which
as
brings
higher
me to my
prices
next
for the
topic.
same goods
Daniel
due to less
Jackson, and
competition
behind
in the
me
market.
is
That's a high bar for a legal challenge to meet in this case, suggesting that opponents to media mergers will have to work to reform the law as it stands before they'll see much success challenging mergers in court. However, that may not stop antitrust advocates from looking to make Amazon's business deals as difficult as possible. MGM is also quite small relative to other Hollywood production studios, and the $8.45 billion sale, while a major win for MGM's investors, is nowhere near the behemoth deals that have recently closed in this space. In 2018, AT&T purchased entertainment giant Time Warner for more than $85 billion, 10 times the going rate for MGM. The following year, Disney acquired Fox's film and television business for a whopping $71.3 billion.
Yep, that much they spend a lot of money in their own pocket. Like, like they spend a lot of money at that one episode of Destiny, and then they lost all the money. And what happened? All the fucking money at, and they cancel it and no fucking reason. And it is messed up, but they not ask the fans, would you want to cancel it? You want to do this? They don't want to do it because they'd be sad. Huh?
Both of those deals received protest from labor unions, members of Congress, and others, but went through anyway. In the case of Time Warner, the U.S. Department of Justice even got involved. But AT&T won the antitrust lawsuit. AT&T's acquisition of Time Warner took about 20 months, including the antitrust suit. Disney's pickup of 21st Century Fox was over in 15 months. Compared to those, MGM is relatively small potatoes, picking up the rights to James Bond, Rocky, Stargate, Vikings, Legally Blonde, and the Pink Panther isn't likely to give Amazon anything approaching a monopoly in the film, television, and streaming spaces. And so it is difficult to see why the FTC or the courts would choose to block the much smaller sale of a much smaller company, simply because in this case Amazon is the buyer. The FTC has stated in the past that its greatest concern is with horizontal integrations, where companies who produce goods in the same space merge, resulting in less competition. While Amazon does have its own streaming platform, and Amazon Studios production arm, the buyout of MGM is more likely being considered as a vertical integration, with the retailer becoming a bigger and bigger player across not only numerous retail categories, but multiple industries. It might be true that the Amazon MGM deal will create further harmful vertical integration as the labor unions argue, but it's hard to block one specific drop of water when the faucet is running, and the bucket is already halfway filled. However all of this goes down, it's going to happen soon. Stick with Gate World for the latest as we monitor for signs of a new Stargate project coming down the road.
Why that tell you about the Stargate thing. I'm sorry I'm in this video. Pull it for occasion. Grab a little bit. I'm gonna see you guys there.